Welcome to the Parker Lord Sign webinar series. My name is Angela Zambanini, and I'm the Northeast Regional Sales Manager for Performance Materials. I've been working in the sign industry for nearly 7 years now, and this year I am a proud member of the ISA Elite 2020 class, as well as a board of director for the Northern States Sign Association. As I've come to find, and I'm sure as many of you know, this industry is driven by aesthetics and long-term performance, resulting in a wide range of materials and colors that need to be assembled together. At Lord Corporation, we call this cross-bonding. Today, we'll introduce you to the different Lord chemistries and how to apply them to different cross-bonding applications. Here's our agenda for today. We'll first look at the different chemistries Lord offers and on what substrate combinations they can be used. We'll refer to 3 different popular cross-bonding applications as examples before opening up for questions. I'll have a chat box up, so feel free to post any questions there as we go along. I'll be happy to answer them at the end. Also during this webinar, please join the live conversation on Twitter using the hashtag #BondSigns, or you can follow us at Lord Corporation or at Yorston Associates to join the conversation. For those of you not familiar with Parker Lord, we're a trusted brand who's been supplying the sign industry with adhesive solutions for over 40 years. Our technologies combined a wide variety of substrates, included painted and prime materials, and they can also cross-bond between 2 different materials, which we'll be focusing on today. We offer superior environmental resistance and can insulate against galvanic corrosion. We understand that the needs and the resources vary from sign shop to sign shop, so we offer several adhesives with UL approval, as well as multiple cure speeds to fit the needs of your specific project. There is no one single adhesive, unfortunately, out there that can bond all materials and all applications. So what Lord Corporation does is we manufacture 3 different chemistries to cover most applications. I've listed the substrates that each chemistry can bond, which tells us what cross-bonding possibilities there are for each type of adhesive. For acrylics, which are our metal bonding adhesives, as you can see in the slide, acrylics can bond many different types of metals, as well as plastics, and they can also cross-bond to these. For example, Lord acrylics can bond aluminum to aluminum, but they can also bond aluminum to polycarb or aluminum to steel. Urethanes, detailed in the middle, are our most flexible adhesives, which make them great for impact resistance and resisting stress induced by shock and vibration. Urethane adhesives are great for bonding to painted and prime materials, as well as plastics, composites, and foam. When you want to bond to porous substrates or to cross-bond to porous substrates, we recommend you use our epoxy adhesives. By porous, what we mean are materials like ceramic, stone, concrete, and wood. Our epoxies can also bond rubber if you think that you need that as well. So if you want to bond an aluminum plate, say, to a piece of stone or bond ceramic letters to a sign face, you'll want to look at an epoxy. So let's take a look at 3 popular cross-bonding applications as example. The first one being bare metal to painted metal. When bonding bare metal to a painted or a prime metal, you have 2 options. You can bond right to the paint, or you can scuff the paint down to the bare metal and bond metal to metal. For both applications, you'll want to use one of Lord's acrylic adhesives, such as Signlock 400 series or the Lord 400 series, or MaxLock if you're using stainless steel or galvanneal or galvanized. Signlock 810 should be considered if you're using metal pieces that are really thin gauge metal, or ACM. Some common applications are bare metal logos bonded to a painted face, as pictured in this slide, or bare metal or bare aluminum brackets to a painted metal sheet. To cross-bond metal with painted or primed metal, you'll want to at least wipe both parts with a clean, dry rag. The preferred cleaning method is using a solvent wipe like IPA or acetone or whatever is allowed in your shop. Once your parts are clean, dispense your adhesive and mate your parts. You can bond right to the paint or primer without further surface prep, but keep in mind your bond strength will be as strong as your paint, since that's what you're bonding to. If you prefer to scuff the paint or primer before bonding, then you want to make sure that you scuff all the way down to the bare metal. Follow with a pressurized air to get the scuff debris away, and then clean the area with a solvent wipe. After that, you're ready to dispense and bond. We get a lot of questions for bonding to plastics like polycarb, ABS, acrylic, and PVC. A very common cross-bonding application for us is bonding acrylic to polycarb. Popular applications we run into are bonding solid channel letters as well as acrylic letters to a polycarb face. You can use one of 3 urethane adhesives for cross-bonding acrylic to polycarb, and these are the 7542, the 7545, and the 7610 DTM. The 7542 and the 7545 are very similar products. The difference between them is viscosity and UL approval. The 7542 has a lower viscosity, which makes it a lot easier to flow into smaller parts or tighter tolerances. And it also has that 7460 approval. The 7545 is higher in viscosity and feels more like a toothpaste, but it has a much wider variety of cure rates, which is what makes that product popular. The tensile strength between them is nearly identical. The 7610 DTM is not as strong as the 7542 and the 7545, but it can be used as a lower cost option when you don't need a lot of strength or you just want to seal. There can be a lot of variability between manufacturers for both polycarb and acrylic, including the type of paint and color that's used. So to reduce that variability, we strongly recommend that you scuff all polycarb and all acrylic parts prior to bonding. Now, this doesn't have to be an aggressive scuff. A simple Scotch-Brite pad would be good enough. You just need to make sure that you get kind of that first layer or that little bit of sheen off. Once you scuff the bonded area, follow with an acetone wipe and then dispense and bond your parts. The final cross-bonding combination I'll go over today is aluminum to plastic, such as aluminum to acrylic or aluminum to polycarb or ACM to polycarb. Again, you can use one of our Lord acrylic adhesives here. We would strongly recommend you consider the Silock 810 if you're using thin gauge aluminum or ACM in order to prevent read-through, which is the appearance of the adhesive showing up on the other side of the part. If you're not using thin gauge metal or ACM, you can simply use the Lord 400 series or the Silock 400 series. You will get similar bond performance whether you're using the Lord brand or the Silock brand. The difference really between them are the features of the Silock brand, which are 2 free mixed tips instead of one gun for all Silock products, and then extended shelf life over the Lord brand. The first step to cross-bonding aluminum to plastic is ensuring the parts are clean, as with the other previous applications. As we discussed in the previous cross-bonding applications, the surface prep can vary on plastic, so you'll want to double check with our tech service support team or your Lord regional manager, such as myself, before moving forward. In some cases, all you'll need is just a solvent wipe, but in other cases, you may have to scuff, flame treat, or even plasma treat, depending on what you're trying to stick to. As I mentioned, you'll want to strongly consider the Silock 810 if you're bonding ACM or other thin gauge metal, and here's why. So Silock 810 was specifically developed to eliminate or reduce bondline read-through in thin gauge substrates. And this is, again, the visual of what that looks like. So if you look on the left, we've got a panel that has been bonded by a competitive acrylic versus a panel, an ACM panel that's been bonded with the Silock 810. So when we took those 2 panels and reflected window blinds onto both panels, we got either a rippled reflection or a nice smooth reflection. And what you can see on the left is actually a rippling effect on the competitive panel. And that's what read-through is showing. Now on the panel that has been bonded with the Silock 810, you don't see that rippling in the reflection. You just see nice, smooth reflection from the window blinds. Now this effect can get exaggerated with darker parts or larger parts. And this is just a visual, again, showing a nice clean visual with no read-through for the SignLock 810. So again, for ACM or other thin gauge metals, you really want to look at the SignLock 810. Every so often, we run into an application that involves bonding to glass, and this is possible, but what you have to do is use a primer. For glass bonding applications, whether you're bonding glass to glass or glass to aluminum, you'll need to use this primer here, which is the AP134. This can be sprayed, dipped, or brushed on. It just depends on your preference. The adhesive that you'll select will just depend on the other material that you're trying to bond to. So if you're trying to bond glass to aluminum, you'll want to look at an acrylic, but if you're bonding glass to some sort of plastic, then you may want to look at a urethane. The three combinations I went over today are just a small sampling of LORD's cross-bonding capabilities. There are a countless number of different combinations you could bond together. If we didn't discuss your cross-bonding application today, no worries. A great place to start is our cross-reference chart found in the resources page on www.lord.com/sign. And I've got a little sample of it. This doesn't show all the different combinations, but it's just a little sampling to show you how to read the chart. So to read the chart, you find the first material that you want to bond on the left. And then you follow it over to the right until you find the cross-section with the material you want to bond to. So for example, say you want to bond trim cap to acrylic. What you'll do is you'll follow acrylic down and then follow trim cap over until you see that we're recommending the 7550 or the 7556 urethane adhesives. You can then research those products using our search tool on our website if you wanted more information, or you can give us a call. So we do understand that selecting an adhesive isn't always as easy as reading a chart. And for that, we have our customer support hotline, 1-877-ASK-LORD. You're welcome to give us a call during normal business hours for help on your cross-bonding applications, or you can also visit us at lord.com/sign and have an instant message chat box, or you can access all of our sign resources from there, such as literature, how-to videos, all from that website. Be sure to also follow us on social media as well for updated videos and information and just to see what's the latest and greatest with us.